I am Groot. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast, or the As Seen on the Big Screen podcast for Guardians of the Galaxy. We're a little late, but I'm your host, Dom. With me is my co-hosts, John and Mike.
He's way too happy about that.
I am.
Well, John hasn't been on an episode since, episode 5
Forever.
of The Walking Dead. So
Good point.
I'm happy John's here too.
And I've done 100 of these goddamn things.
Mike's just like, I could take it or leave it. I'm ready to take a nap.
Worn and jaded.
Yeah.
You've done more than 100 of these things, Mike.
I know.
We're about at the 200 mark. Yes. How are you guys tonight?
I am not Groot.
You're not Groot?
I don't even have a Groot within... I don't have a Groot within arm's reach.
Oh, do you? Because I have two. Do you want one?
I can go get one from the other room, but that'd be bad form.
I'm handing it right. It's right over the monitor. You can grab it. Is that not how it works?
Funny enough, we actually pulled that stunt on another show, but we will tell you about that some other time. So, Guardians of the Galaxy. What were your guys' opinions on this movie? Let me just preface this saying that this is actually the one Marvel movie I was looking the least forward to, and
then what? Turned out to be the best one you've ever seen?
Yes. So, what were your guys' expectations going in as to opposed to coming out of it?
I was worried going into it because Marvel's... I mean... I don't know, there's a lot of crazy stuff in Guardians of the Galaxy, aliens and far-flung reaches of the universe. Hell, the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the 60s were 1,000 years in the future. So, I mean, I'm going into this alright, how are they going to fuck this up? In plain English, something's going to get screwed up. But I was pleasantly surprised. They just... Alright, you know what? Fuck it, there's a talking raccoon. We're just going to go with it. There's a 3-foot-tall, genetically engineered talking raccoon. Okay.
I mean, what could go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
It's Bradley Cooper. I mean...
Yeah.
I had no context of Guardians of the Galaxy until, the week before I saw it. So I'm like, I don't even know what it is. I'm just I know Vin Diesel's in it, and he's a talking tree, so what the hell? I mean, I like the Iron Giant.
I mean, how do you cast somebody and be like, you're just going to be a tree and you're going to have 5 words to say the entire movie?
I have a strange feeling he volunteered for this, but I can't be sure.
Probably.
It's alright, you're going to be a giant talking tree. You only can say 3 words. I am and Groot. And
got a pen. He was like, "Where do I?"
You're going to have to say it 1,000 different times in 1,000 different ways.
And see what sticks.
Yeah, exactly. Hell, I'd do that. It's we're going to pay you a lot of money to say I am Groot 1,000 times.
How much money do you think he honestly made doing this role?
Considering the man, for the last Riddick film, he took a massive pay cut in order for the studio to be able to stay within budget and actually make the movie, I wouldn't be surprised if he got paid nothing.
Yeah, he's a stand-up guy when it comes to this kind of stuff.
He'll gladly do it for free.
He's a giant nerd, so he will do anything in his power to just get things done. So, I mean, realistically speaking, he wasn't actually in the movie, so probably got paid a little less than the actors who were actually filmed.
Yeah, I don't think they used him for motion capture or anything.
No, that was all CG.
Yeah, but is he on the same pay grade as Raccoon?
They actually used... I'm getting to it now because I saw it before we started. They used someone as a stand-in when filming for Rocket. But...
Were they short and fuzzy?
No. Yeah, they got this one guy credited as Kraglin, whoever Kraglin is. I think he was one of the Ravagers. And on-set Rocket.
Maybe just for a reference so they could look at something when they were talking.
That's probably it, yeah. And then I thought, there's some guy who I've never heard of who was credited as on-set Groot.
Sean Gunn.
Sean Gunn, okay.
That's Onset Rocket and Christian Godlewski.
He's the younger brother of actor-filmmaker James Gunn.
All right.
And is he as tall as Jaws from James Bond? Because you need to be.
The man with the golden gun.
I don't know. This guy's
the guy with the metal teeth.
Yeah, the guy with the metal teeth. Fuck the golden gun. No, don't fuck the golden gun. Otherwise, Christopher Lee will show up in my bedroom and kill me in my sleep, even though he's like 90.
I am Groot.
Anyway, moving along.
Groot was a very interesting character. I think he's kind of the favorite of the film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, without a doubt.
All right, the analogy I wanted to share when you were asking about how this movie was, it reminded me of a short comic I read, and it showed, it was about DC Comics pitching Wonder Woman movie or whatever. It's like, I just don't think our audience is ready for a serious female character lead right now. And then meanwhile, at Marvel Studios, all right, he's a genetically engineered raccoon, and he talks. Sold. Then they're just throwing money at the guy.
Yeah. See, based on the commercials and everything, the way this film was broadcast, I thought Rocket Raccoon was going to be the big draw to the film.
Turned out to be wrong.
Yeah, because I don't think they didn't have Groot say his line in the first trailer, if I'm not mistaken. I think in the second trailer, he actually spoke, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Vin Diesel, you did it!" So then everyone freaked out about Groot.
See, I guess I stayed away from a lot of the TV spots because I don't remember even seeing Groot in the promo, the trailer, or anything.
There was a scene of him, the scene where Rocket's up on his back shooting everybody in the room.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was going raw.
But, and then the scene of him just standing there in the lineup and waving or whatever he did and bending down and turning his head and looking. But
yeah,
I didn't know anything about him whatsoever going into this film, and I walked out of there and I was just like, dancing baby Groot at the end? Give me one?
Yeah, that was...
Did you see there's actually people on YouTube that they bought those dancing daisy flowers and they snipped the head off and put a molded Groot head in felt I was gonna say felt the whole thing up, but that just sounds really bad, but they wrapped the thing in felt and yeah.
Well, I mean, they made a pop vinyl figure of dancing baby Groot, so there you go.
Yeah.
Dancing baby Groot.
It's crazy.
I have that song stuck in my head now.
That's a song? Dancing Baby Groot?
No!
Oh. Yeah, it's early Van Halen.
Yes, exactly. Dancing Baby Groot.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than take Groot out of the equation, take the raccoon out of the equation, what did you think of the actual film itself?
It was very well done. I mean, just taking peeling back my Marvel fandom and everything I expected going into this and didn't expect going into this and all that other stuff, just from a moviegoer standpoint, this was a really good movie. It was well put together. It was entertaining. It had a lot of action. It was funny. It had sad moments, and it had just a complete-ish story arc.
Yeah, I mean, not having any context of what the story could be going in, it didn't, it told the story really, really well. It didn't have to hold your hand explaining, what are credits? What is this money currency they're talking about? It didn't take unnecessary stops to explain what was going on. It just kind of held your hand and said, come on, let's go.
And on top of that, it was a standalone Marvel movie.
It had nothing to do with the Avengers or the S.H.I.E.L.D. or anything.
For now, yeah. It helped, there was some extra context for seeing Avengers with the Tesseract and things like that. This orb is kind of the same thing. All right. There was just little bits of context, but you could have seen Guardians of the Galaxy without having seen any other Marvel movies, and you would have been perfectly fine.
I mean, they touched on this a little bit in was it Captain America where they showed the Collector at the end? Captain 2?
No, Thor 2.
Thor 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes,
Thor.
That's right. So Thor 2 kind of set this up a little bit. Leading into it, and because of that, the whole scene at the end of Thor, I actually expected the Collector to be a little more prominent in this movie, and that's probably the biggest disappointment to me, not going in with expectations and not knowing what was going on. Is I expected the Collector to be a bigger part of the movie, which he was not.
Yeah, especially after that ominous, in the end of Thor 2, Sif and whichever of the other, interchangeable male extra characters, they leave and he's just like, 1 down, 5 to go. And it's like, okay, that's pretty fucking ominous. And then comes this movie and it's like, all right, he doesn't seem that ominous anymore.
He basically just told them what the Infinity Stone was, and then, okay, bye.
Like, this is a thing that was forged in the beginning of the universe. It's really, really strong. Like, it's really powerful. It could blow up shit.
And he's like, hey, Sweet Cheeks, don't touch that. And then she touched it.
And then she touched it, and...
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really was the only tie-in that we've had for the other movies, was the Infinity Stones. That's it. There's really no other tie-ins at all.
Yeah?
If they were subtly hinted at and thrown in the background somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a Captain America shield sitting in the Collector's thing that we just didn't catch. Something like that, like little references to things that we probably didn't catch. I mean, at the end... Huh?
There was a hidden Mickey in the rubble after the explosion in the Collector's room. That was about it.
Was there?
Yeah. Chrissy spotted it.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another thing that really surprised me. This is a Disney movie, and they had Star-Lord flip the camera off.
See, Disney, just because it's a Disney movie, Disney owns the studio, like they're the parent company. But I think Disney at this point realized that Marvel is doing such a good job. It's like, hey, look, we own you. You're doing a great job, though. So keep going. Like, you have creative freedom here. We don't care. As long as you're not showing somebody getting, like, brutally murdered, their intestines used as a jump rope, and, other crazy things like that.
Oh, you just pitched the next idea for Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Pay this man.
No, but, so to me, it was more shocking that, like, the main character did this. And it's, like, somebody that you're kind of looking up to, and it's, like, setting a role model for kids, too. And, like... this guy's flipping the camera off, and like when they showed it in the previews, I thought that's exactly how it was going to be shown in the movie, where it just comes up over the screen and says obscene gesture, and I figured that would have been it. And the point's across, you know what's going on, you don't see it, and that's kind of the Disney way to me. And it wasn't. It was actually he flipped them off. But at the time, he was also kind of like almost like the anti-hero at that point. So, was he really a role model at that stage? Not so much. But repeated viewings, what's going to stop little kids from running around flipping people off now?
I mean,
okay, without this movie, what's to stop little kids from running around flipping people off when they figure out what it means in the first place?
They don't have any heroes to look up to that's flipping people off.
I mean, drunk Uncle Frank flips off Aunt Denise at dinner every Sunday anyway, so what's the big deal?
Right, so that's not new.
This is a loveless marriage, Denise.
It's just like you get kids that like look up to somebody and they want to mimic him. Like my youngest cousin, or my oldest cousin, I should say, when he was younger, he was like maybe 3-4 years old. He's like 2, 3. Maybe he was about 2. He had just learned to walk, so he's walking around, and my grandfather was watching a Yankee game, and he's sitting there, and he's going, Jesus Christ! He's like screaming at the TV. Next thing I know, my cousin's walking down the hall, kicking his blocks down the hallway, going, Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! He's like, it was really funny watching him do that, but, it's like the little kids... They this is kind of a movie. You get a talking raccoon, you get like this big tree dude. This is something that, despite the warnings and the parental advisory and all that stuff, adults are going to take their kids to see it anyway. And it's just like, I was surprised. I'm not saying they're in the wrong for doing it, because that's not what I'm saying, but I was just surprised at Disney. I've been surprised at Disney ever since they started pumping out the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
I was going to mention that before. Disney pumped out Pirates, and there are some pretty gruesome shit in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I mean, the beginning of the second one, there's just a guy in the cage getting his eyes pecked out by a bunch of crows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember my reaction when I first saw that. I'm like, this is a Disney movie!
Yeah, I screamed that in the middle of the theater, too. wasn't maybe that exact scene, but it was something I forget. I don't remember what it was, but I was just like, "This is a Disney movie," and the whole theater started cracking up. And it's just like I love the direction that Disney's going. I really do. So if this is any indication on how the Star Wars movies are going to turn out, I'm super excited.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Harrison Ford can keep his ankle intact.
yeah, but that's a whole another podcast right there.
Oh yeah, another more.
So we were just talking about the collector. What did you guys think about the hidden scene at the end, Howard the Duck?
Very disappointing.
I was not expecting that shit. Like, I knew the end. I had already had it spoiled that the first end scene was dancing baby Groot. So going in, that didn't surprise me. I'm like, okay, so what's the second one? And it's just the collector there, and I'm like, okay, so what? Is like someone gonna break in and steal the Aether? Is something else gonna explode? Is Cosmo the space dog going to mind control the collector? What's going to happen there? And it's just a talking duck. I'm like, what?
Did you not know who Howard the Duck was at that point?
I know and knew who Howard the Duck was, but I
did too.
It was the last thing in my mind.
I was like, why the fuck? I remembered him from when I was a kid. I was like, what the hell? Howard the Duck? What? What?
Yeah.
And I was like so disappointed. I was like, you didn't give me anything cool.
Really? You were disappointed by that?
Yeah, I was like, it was funny, but I was kind of like, usually at the end of a Marvel movie, you get like a teaser about like something to come, and it was just like, it's Donald the Duck's competition. Have fun, Daisy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of excited about Howard the Duck. Like, I assumed we were going to see another Howard the Duck movie. I thought that's kind of what they were setting up to. But from what I've read, that they've kind of they said that we may see more appearances from Howard the Duck going forward, but don't expect a standalone movie from him at least within the next 4 years.
I guess that's fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, if he just like pops a revolver out once in a while and just like bang, whatever.
Yeah.
He could pop up and do that and save the world, whatever they want him to do. But I mean, I don't see him making much of an appearance in the next Guardians movie, at least.
I hope he's there.
I mean, he's probably going to show up for like another cameo, and it's fine. It's whatever. I'll get over it.
Do you think we're going to see him outside of Guardians of the Galaxy before a standalone movie?
What else? What else could you see? Doctor Strange, maybe.
Yeah, wacky adventures on Earth. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He gets a coffee from Starbucks. That could be funny.
He's a duck. Who knows? Maybe they'll go the same route they went with Rocket Raccoon's origin story. He's a genetically engineered raccoon. Same thing. Howard the Duck. He's a genetically engineered duck.
No, he actually
Nothing
isn't a duck.
special.
He was a stuffed Donald Duck doll that they shoved pots into. And they were like, I give you life. And then the Simba thing happened, and you get the idea.
Simba.
I have something on my face.
She's screwing with you, Dom.
There's Groot stars everywhere.
I'm also really upset that Cleo couldn't make this because I wanted to have a debate about the Infinity Stones with her. And now I have to wait until the next time I see her and her dad at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Because I have to go over a couple things with them to clear, because her dad is like the font of Marvel knowledge.
We should get him on here.
He really is. If you think about it,
he knows everything.
Uh-huh.
So about the Infinity Stones, because I wanted to get to that, because I had no idea any of these things they were finding in like the other Marvel movies were Infinity Stones. I don't know if I was supposed to know that, but I was like, oh, that's
they've hinted at it. They've kind of hinted at it, but not in an in-your-face way. It's if you're in the know, you kind of know. And I know about it, but not enough where Mike is getting all like philosophical on us about which stones are which. But Mike's got a good theory he started sharing, so you want to explain Mike?
The 6 Infinity Gems. I mean, the Infinity Gauntlet series, Thanos, there's a gauntlet, you put the gems in it, oh, he's infinitely powerful, whatever.
Let me stop you right there before you get started. You said 6, but how come the collector said 1 down, 5 to go? Or 4 to go? Or what did he say? What was his name?
Didn't he say 1 down, 5 to go?
Okay, so that is 6. Okay. So I'm bad at math. I am Groot.
Anyway, the description they're giving, they're remnants of the Big Bang or something like that. Is that what he said, the collector? I forgot. They're just
Yeah, something like that.
they're they're just gems of ridiculous power, and they're a different color in the comics, and they each do something different.
Mhm.
Like there's the purple one is the space gem. It allows basically allows you to traverse space anywhere, which that's the Tesseract. It opened the portal across space. And then so there's space, time, mind, soul, power, and reality. Those are the 6 gems.
Mhm.
We've gotten space, which is the Tesseract. We've gotten
Yep.
reality, which is the Aether, and we've gotten power, which is the orb.
Yeah.
And also, when you combine the gems together, the power gem will boost the effects of the other 5 gems. So combining, I believe it works if you combine like the Tesseract and the orb, you will basically gain omnipresence and can be everywhere at once. I think that's how it works. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Honestly, my only point of reference is the first Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, there's that, yeah. But I think also my theory I wanted to run by Chrissy and her dad is I think we've seen 4 gems. I think Loki's staff in the Avengers was the mind gem.
See,
It makes sense if you think about it.
we had rewatched Captain America 2 the other night, and I brought it up. I was like, is Loki's staff, does he have one of the gems? And everyone was like, yeah, probably. So
yeah. So if that's true, then we haven't seen the Soul Gem and the Time Gem. I'm thinking the Soul Gem will come up in Doctor Strange. I don't know why. It just screams at me that that's something Doctor Strange would have to deal with.
Yeah, a gem is coming up in that movie.
Yeah, and then the Time Gem, maybe Thanos already has it.
Who knows?
I don't know. But
Tony Stark puts it in his drinks.
Yeah, you gather the 6 of these together. You're the I don't know the technical. You're the Christian God at that point.
Space Jesus.
So Thanos wants all these gems, and it basically makes him God.
Yeah, and then he's gonna show up and push everyone's shit in. So
yeah, I don't know. He
great.
becomes the universe. What did Bill Paxton say? It's like I am the universe. Is that how he put it?
I got fingers too.
So I forget how Bill Paxton put that. Plus, that's starting soon, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's a whole nother friggin' can of worms. I don't know where they're going with that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back on Tuesday.
Yes, we're recording this on Sunday night, Tuesday coming soon. I really hope they bring the Inhumans in. Like, that's who Sky's dad is, but I'm digressing.
I'm hoping we get to see some tie-ins now with stuff like Guardians. I know they said in the first season that they planned on staying on Earth. They weren't going to other dimensions or anything like that. But now that they've kind of set up that there are other worlds and stuff out there, and it's not just, Earth and the Rainbow Bridge, and I have a cricket that's really annoying that's distracting me. And
it's
chirping, and I can't think of anything but the cricket.
Chirp.
Can you guys hear the cricket, or is it
very much?
Yeah, I figured. I'm gonna go take care of that in a second. But we have the Rainbow Bridge. We have the place Thor's from.
Asgard.
I'm terrible with names, so please forgive me. That other weird dimension that what's her face went to in Thor 2?
Yeah.
Where she let the Aether free.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
The negative energy plane.
So they're kind of setting up that there are these other areas and these other parts of the universe and worlds and stuff that are all connected. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the end few episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., somebody or something ends up going through or coming through a portal, and we have to deal with that, and that's our cliffhanger waiting for season 3.
Howard the Duck!
Oh my god.
Right? I should write for these people.
Something like that. Yeah, I agree that we'll have some kind of crazy cliffhanger having to do with a portal. I'm still trying to figure out what Coulson was drawing there with the, Is it a circuit diagram? Is it like some kind of advanced map? Is it Cree mathematics? Because they found a fucking Cree.
We will find out on Tuesday.
I mean, if the blue alien in the tube wasn't a Cree in your mind yet, look at Ronan. He was a Cree. He was blue. So was Nebula. She was blue.
Indeed, indeed. So while I go take care of this cricket real quick, what did you guys think of
This is what he was.
having more of? Amazing. Would you guys think of having more of Thanos than just his head turning? Like
Yeah,
you said?
then just like, then what the hell is his name? His character's name in Buffy? Wesley. Yes, that was that guy. Just to being like, the humans are strong, blah, blah, blah. We underestimated them, yada, yada. And Thanos just turning like, ha ha. Like, yeah, fuck that noise. He spoke.
That and we like. I was thinking he was just going to be a shadow and like some lips and big teeth in this movie, but they really actually showed him and gave him dialogue, and he was a real presence, which is really really cool. Like it was nice to actually get a we know what he looks like, but it was nice for everybody else to put a face to this evil horror that is haunting over the universe.
Yeah,
So,
put a face on him, put a thing to him, and get a voice, because I love that. I think it's awesome. Also, I wanted to bring up that. Never mind, I'll do it later. It's something to do with Inhumans and my theories going forward, but later. Anyway,
yes.
I think Josh Brolin is a perfect choice for his voice.
Yeah,
Yep.
he did a phenomenal job there.
Yeah.
So what was the fate of Thanos in this? I don't really remember now. I'm kind of drawing a blank. How did they end with Thanos?
Thanos
Really pissed off.
He was pissed off. Basically, Ronan hung up on him.
Yep.
Okay.
Ronan's like, I got your gem. And it's mine. You're not getting it.
So
You're not getting this.
What exactly are they setting Thanos up for?
Being pissed and wrecking shit.
Relatively certain he's going to be the big baddie in Avengers 3.
Yeah, how could he not be?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's going to be Ultron in this movie, and then I assume. I mean, do you think we'll get another Guardians movie before the third Avengers? I would think.
Definitely.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
So maybe we'll even get like a Guardians fly to Earth and help the Avengers thing. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool.
Maybe. I'm
You're thinking Guardians of the Galaxy crossover with Avengers.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, because honestly, the way the Avengers are kind of set up in the movie universe, they don't have a prayer against Thanos. Like, they will just get annihilated. So they do need help. I mean, Doctor Strange will be nice. He can manipulate shit, and Ant-Man can shrink and be useless. So they got pretty good chances, right?
Ant-Man coming up immediately after the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out... Because there was a Phase 3 thing released, but everything's saying it's fake because of a couple of things. All right, so confirmed for Marvel for Phase 3 is... Before Avengers 3 is Ant-Man, Captain America 3, Doctor Strange, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay.
Those are all confirmed.
Doctor Strange actually confirmed.
July 8th, 2016 is its release date.
See, I haven't actually heard anything official on that.
It's in pre-production.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so Ant-Man is after Avengers, which is May. Then comes Ant-Man that July. Then Captain America 3 next May. Then Doctor Strange the July after that. And then a whole nother year until Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Unless they release something in between that they haven't stated yet.
Howard the Duck. It's gonna happen.
No Howard the Duck. I would love a Howard the Duck movie. I'm just not ready for it right now.
No, this is too soon. Yeah.
It was.
I mean, I think with the whole Thanos thing, like, I'm hoping that soon we get to see him, like, act, like, maybe get off of his throne and start, because we at least got to hear his motives directly from his mouth now. So now we know exactly what he wants. I mean, he wants the Infinity Stones. And he's conscripting people to do this for him, so maybe we'll see him start acting directly soon in one of these movies coming up, because I would really, really like that a lot.
Yeah, it
Just
would be
see
good.
him
So
fuck shit up.
where does the Aether fit in this plan for the Infinity Stones and all that?
I have no idea. It's the reality gem. It allows him to, I'm going to look up what its exact powers are while I talk about this, but I'm pretty sure it allows them to alter reality, which was what Malekith was going to do with it to make everything back to primordial darkness. Was that the thing?
Probably.
Something?
I think it was something like that.
Let's see. Reality gem allows the user to fulfill wishes, even if the wish is in direct contradiction with scientific laws.
Dude, you can get like unlimited frappuccinos.
Okay, occasionally stated to be the most powerful of the gems if wielded without the others to keep. If wielded without the others will keep its reality altering powers from accidentally surging out of control.
Hmm. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Have to say.
Yeah, the description of the orb, the power one, is quite fun. Accesses all power and energy that ever has or will exist.
Just all of it. Just all of it.
Just
that light
all
bulb.
of the
It's in
yeah,
the stone.
Every last piece of power.
everything that all the energy in the universe. Yep, just at your fingertips. Here you go. Have fun.
Which is why it blows everyone apart as soon as they touch it.
I don't like that star. It's in my way.
Yep. Gone.
So what is this? The Death Star?
Well, it is a really tiny sphere.
So are they now gonna connect Star Wars into the Marvel universe?
Oh!
The Death
Remember-
Star
Yeah.
is using that power to blow up planets.
Don't forget, Star Wars was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
But we don't know when Guardians of the Galaxy took place.
We kind of
Well,
do.
we do have a point of reference because we know it was 86 when Star-Lord's mom died. So
Yeah.
it was 20 years later or so. So it was
2006.
early 2000s. So yeah.
Like in our time, unless there was time
You
travel.
and your logic.
Unless there was time travel, the Ravagers didn't tell us about.
Right. I mean,
Isn't there a time gem?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
So it was 86 of what year? 1486?
No, it was 1986.
Dude, he had 70s and 80s hits on his little mixtape. I mean, it's not that hard to extrapolate.
This is true.
Does not take a
You know.
degree.
We don't need to go too far.
That's true. So we're gonna assume that this took place in could it have taken place in the future, the far future, 200 years from now?
No, I don't. I mean, they'd have to come up with some wacky explanation as to why he's still like 30. You know.
Without the use of time travel or a time-altering device, such as the, time gem, I think this happened in real time, just on the other end of the galaxy. I mean, we've already... The way they're spinning it, they haven't directly said it, but, whereas in Norse mythology and everything like that, the 9 realms are actual different dimensions and planes of existence, they're more of different planets scattered about the universe. I'm thinking the 9 realms are just fall under the rule of Asgardians or something like that. They haven't explicitly stated it, but they are quite obviously other planets and not other dimensions.
Yeah.
So do you think Thanos has any of the Infinity Stones currently?
What could he have? I mean,
Well,
there
you
are
know what?
two. There are two. We just said that we don't.
Yeah.
That aren't accounted for.
Now,
Right.
well, here's the thing. Loki had the staff with the mind gem. Well, okay, if Loki had the staff with the mind gem in it.
right.
If
He has that.
they
Does he have
gave
it
it to
anymore?
him.
Didn't they?
No.
Didn't they show it?
No.
Captain
No.
America has it. It's
Yeah.
in the Hydra Vault.
Yeah, they have
Right.
it.
So they gave it to him. As in, I believe Thanos, and they gave that to Loki to use. So he did have a gem. Or a stone.
Yeah.
But there's 2 that are unaccounted for. Maybe he has both. Maybe he has neither. I don't know.
Feeling one of the gems is possibly going to tie it into like the whole origin story for Mr. Star-Lord over there. You know, they could feasibly be like, "Hey, we have this one. Look, check it out." You know.
Speaking of which, we still have Star-Lord's father and all that whole storyline that they set up there at the end there. So where do you think they're going with that? Do you think that's going to tie in with something that we already know? Because they're keeping it as a secret, like it's supposed to mean something. And if they're just like, oh, Star-Lord's father is this random dude over here at a bar, that, like it's going to be really weird. So it makes it feel like to me that it's set up and established as somebody we already know.
There were a couple of theories that I read. I don't remember all of them, but here are the two prominent ones. Theory 1.
Can I give my theory first?
Sure, go with your theory.
Howard the Duck is his father.
No.
Oh my God, Illuminati.
Yes, Illuminati, conspiracy, shit like that. Okay, so theory 1 is they're going the route of the comics, in which his father is Jason of Spartax, which is a planet, I believe, in another galaxy, but they're kind of an offshoot of another alien race known as the Shi'ar, which you don't need, but it helps if you have X-Men for the Shi'ar, because in the comics, Professor Xavier is the one who contacted them telepathically, I think. Someone stab me if I'm wrong, please. That's how I remember it. Anyway.
It's your wife's cue.
Yeah, right? Honey, please don't hurt me. So, I don't know if the Shi'ar are exactly tied into X-Men, like legally and stuff like that. If so, we're sorry. I'm so sorry. Fox kind of has that under wraps.
Mm.
So, will they go that route? Is he some... Because if that's the case, then Peter Quill is the crown prince of the Spartax Empire. And he's royalty.
That'd be interesting.
Right. The other theory is they're going to scrap that whole thing. And that the whole... Like, there was a lot of, cleverly worded evidence that Yondu is actually his father. Because he went to Earth and the Ravagers are around Earth. What do they take from Earth? One single child. Nothing else.
Some ladies.
One single child is all they take. Now, the whole time Yondu grows, Yondu raises Peter as, a Ravager, teaches him the ways of the world and the universe and stuff like that, and is always telling him, I prevented these guys from eating you because I'm for some strange reason, I'm a nice guy. What if he prevented them from eating him because, he's kind of... Yeah? And that whole smirk at the end when the orb is filled with, what was it, a bobblehead? Whatever was in it.
It's just a little, dashboard. Yeah, it was a little dashboard.
He kind of laughed like, yeah, I'm proud of you, son. Like, it was a whole paragraph of crap. And after reading the paragraph, I went, that would fucking make sense. Like, yeah.
But
if they went that route. And then there was
I don't know. I feel like that's like a known... Like Yondu's like a known race in this world, in like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like they know what he is, and it's weird because I think they would know, like, because the reason they found out in the movie is because mommy said an angel made sex with her, and then when he held the power gem, he was like okay with it, like his body didn't blow up immediately. So I it's cute and it would be. But like, I don't think that would make for a very interesting story. I don't think I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring. It's like, oh, it was him all along. Yeah, great. What? Like, why would his?
I know.
Why would his mother like be involved with a sleazebag like him?
I kind of agree with both of you. Like to John's point, yeah, it seems like it would be a little kind of a letdown, but also at the same it does make a lot of sense. So. It's just one of those situations where I don't think if that is the case, I think either way you're going to upset some people either way with that.
Yeah, at some point, yeah. I'm just thinking like, as soon as the movie ended, I was like, oh my God, he's an SMR. Oh.
His father is this cricket.
Oh God.
John, did you just say his father's that he's an ASMR?
He is.
Oh my God.
Angel human.
See, they haven't... I'm reading this one thing here, this theory. They haven't introduced any of the Eternals yet, which if they're following the comics, one of his motivations is that he's in love with the embodiment of death, one of the eternals, basically the eternal constants of the universe. And there's a whole bunch of other ones, such as, here's some names, as Eternity, Lord Order, the In-Betweener. I'm pretty sure the Collector is actually one of them, the Eternals. So technically they did introduce one if they go that route. So that would explain, his father is an ancient being whose DNA we have either, what did she say? We've never seen before, or we haven't seen in forever?
Yeah, like I haven't
Something
seen
like
it in a
that.
long
So
time.
that would fit that.
Right, which is why I don't think it's Yondu. Because that right there, he's probably shooting his DNA everywhere.
Well,
Sick bastard that he is.
the character Yondu is a Centaurian, the last of his species in the comics, so he is an ancient and lonely. Yeah, that would explain why you haven't seen any of their DNA in a while.
All right, I mean that's fair.
But
fair.
I don't think they went that route. I think they went with the fact they didn't say what Yondu was in the movie. I think they were trying to imply that he was a Kree.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. They really didn't make it very specific, other than blue skin.
I don't know if they're just writing this as they go and just pitching it, throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, or if they have a whole friggin' massive plan written down somewhere.
I would imagine they'd have to at this point, at least some vague idea of where each story has to go.
A vague idea.
You couldn't wing this and make it at all coherent.
I mean, the reason why I think it's somebody established outside of Guardians of the Galaxy is to tie it in with the Marvel Universe, the franchise, to get us back to like Earth or something, like to get these characters to go there. Somebody that we know already, because what if his father's Thanos?
That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. His mom would have died a long time ago.
Because in the comic, it was some Emperor Jason from
Emperor Jason of Spartax.
Yeah, so it's like that's not anybody relevant.
Or
anyway.
His mom's actually crazy, and it was just this guy named Jim Gilligan from like the bar down the road.
But they did a DNA. Then what explains the Nova Corps' DNA analysis?
Yeah,
I couldn't say analysis. The fuck.
It could be Yondu. I just don't want it to be Yondu. That's really what it comes
like I said, this was a fan theory. It was a fan theory, and the way they spun it made sense.
Yeah, no, it seems very feasible. I'm just upset if it will happen. But anyway, I mean that's basically probably going to be the whole plot of this next movie is somehow going to lead it, because they have this gem and now they're going to have to defend it somehow.
All right.
So, you can give it to Nova. Nova's going to be like, yeah, we'll protect it. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll protect it.
Unless they get like actual Nova, like the hero Nova, he could do it, but
sure. Wait, I'm thinking of someone else. I was say, wasn't Nova a Shi'ar? When we were on that topic, I don't think he was though.
I don't think so. But he hits like a grown ass man, so he needs to like show up and just start defending things, because they're cute little ships. Like, we're gonna make an energy net. We're gonna play space volleyball. Are you ready? Cute, not very effective.
That was interesting, but it was awful because then they all blew up.
Yeah, I was like, why can't you project it in front of you so you don't explode? I don't know. Poor use of technology.
Yeah.
What do you think Yondu's gonna do to get revenge, I guess, for being swindled by Star-Lord if he's not his father?
I don't think he will. I think that smirk at the end was kind of like, you know what, you got me, kid. I don't need this.
I mean, we already know there's a Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like, Yondu's got to be in it. Come on, he doesn't have to be in it, but
I can't see them not.
I mean,
is it bad that through the whole movie I'm just like, that's Daryl's brother?
No, it's not bad.
No, I was doing it too.
You're okay there.
I'm a terrible person.
Awesome character, remote control dart, flying arrow of death.
So badass.
Yeah, controlled by whistling, mind you. I don't know. I know that I have it in the back of my head, almost without a shadow of a doubt, that the villain in the second Guardians will be Nebula, because she got away.
Hmm.
So I have no doubt in my mind that she's going to be either the major or one of the major villains in the second one.
Yeah.
Now, going from there, I don't know.
See, the thing with Yondu, and I feel like at this point he's smart enough to realize like that this stone is not worth the trouble, you know, because as much money as it could get him, I think he kind of put two and two together, and realized like this is probably the most dangerous thing I've ever encountered in my life. Like, I don't want. And now, I mean, the Nova Corps has it, so now he's got to break into their headquarters and try to get it. It's like, I think he's probably smart enough to just cut his losses and just say, you know what, fine, go ahead. I'm going to go to another planet, steal whatever the hell I can get from there, and call it a night.
Yeah, my yeah, because at that point it's like, okay, who wants this gem? We know the collector wants them all. The stone. I mean, everybody's gonna call them gems, but
Yeah,
the
whatever.
collector wants it, and so does Thanos. Is Thanos offering a lot of money? That's great. What's to keep Thanos from just using it to vaporize you once you give it to him?
Yeah, he's got big hands. Just,
His name is the Mad Titan for a reason.
yeah.
That's another thing. Are they going to go into his origin? Because technically, he's from Saturn's moon, Titan.
And also, does this motherfucker look like he has a bank account? No.
Do any of them look like they have bank accounts? Really?
No. Like, come on.
Not really.
He's not gonna pay you.
Oh my god, that's the best quote of ever about Thanos. This little motherfucker looks like he got a bank account.
What did you think of the characters themselves? Like Star-Lord. Like Chris Pratt has been acting for the better part of the last 10 years. He started in like 2000, some like short film or whatever. In 2003, he's been periodically and stuff like that. But I really don't know him outside this movie. I looked through his IMDb, whatever. There's not a single movie that I recognize him from. What did you think of him as a lead character?
I know he auditioned to be Captain Kirk in the new Star Treks, but that didn't go very well.
Travesty.
I'm only quoting this because, like, what did I think of the character? A very good sci-fi character. Because you got the Wikipedia page up, I can see that, and, you know, it says he's a mixture of Han Solo and Marty McFly, which, yeah, that works.
I mean, basically, that's
He's-
him.
He's a human, you know, basically in a place, the other end of the galaxy, where technology is wickedly advanced, so he's technically in the future, you know, you could spin that, and he's kind of a badass like Han Solo. He's, you know, a smuggler, a scoundrel, not legal person.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, he was perfect. I mean, I think he was excellent. Like that role fit him like a glove. It really did. He just owned it so well. I was really, really impressed. Like, I was thinking he could very easily be overshadowed by Rocket and Groot because they were like super cool. But he really, and really all the characters I think really had plenty of moments to shine and really all stuck out in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all really, really strong, which was very cool. Because, even like the Avengers, you didn't get a lot of Black Widow in that movie. You really only got a lot of her in the second Captain America movie. And like Hawkeye, where did you go and what are you doing? So there was definitely, like a tier list in those movies where it's like, you got your Thor and the superheroes, and then you got the guys in the black suits. Congratulations. So I like that. I like that everybody got the spotlight and they were all really well developed.
The one I was worried the most about was Drax, which was Bautista from WWF. I'm not calling it the other thing. It's WWF, and it will always be WWF. But Dave Bautista, like, I was really worried because you got The Rock, who has had a pretty successful acting career. I mean, some of his roles, the Tooth Fairy, and they're kind of questionable. You know, like, did you really make it big, Rock, if you're playing the Tooth Fairy? You know,
Yeah.
but he had Walking Tall. You know, he was in the Fast and the Furious. What was it,
Yeah.
Fast 5, Fast 6, whatever. Um,
Flop
it-
sweat the movie.
yeah, like, he played a good role in that. I think that's his best role yet. Like, Walking
Yeah.
Tall was good. There was another
Yep.
one right around the time of Walking Tall that was really good. So, it's like, he's kind of set the new standard for this. And Bautista, I hadn't seen him in anything before that, so I was kind of worried going into this.
I mean,
Yeah.
wrestling is all acting anyway, so they know what they're doing.
It's a different kind of acting, though.
Right. Yeah. But I was surprised and thoroughly impressed. I actually didn't realize. I mean, I really didn't know who Batista was at that point. I was like, oh, he's a wrestler. Holy crap! This guy can act. Yeah, he was incredible.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised actually because I had the same worry. Like I've never seen him in anything.
He
Ever.
took a long time off when they were filming for it, and then when he came back to wrestling, he was practically booed almost off the stage when he came back. That I think they got all upset at him for like trying to, you know, the crowd got upset at him for pursuing an acting career, or maybe they just don't. I don't know. I really don't watch recently. I haven't watched since like 2001, so I can't really tell you for sure, but I do catch it every now and then, and I did happen to see his return. I don't remember if it was the night after WrestleMania or something like that. I think that's when it was I watched or something. And it was just like, I remember him coming in, and I remember him just getting booed, and I was like, I don't know if it, because like I said, I don't know if they just hate him as a wrestler, or if it had anything to do with this movie. Like, it was before the movie aired, obviously.
Yeah,
So.
well, they can eat a dick because he was great as Drax.
Yes, he was exactly.
He was.
Great character. Doesn't understand metaphor. Seemed offended at the suggestion that he doesn't understand metaphor. But
yeah, there was an article going around that said, was Drax, was it, not dyslexic, what's the, autistic.
Yeah. So I saw that article about that kid who was like, that's like me. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of, you know, a strange amalgamation of it, but yeah, he was kind of like that. He didn't understand social cues that well, and he didn't understand metaphors at all, which was wonderful.
Do you think that was something intentional, or do you think it just happenstance?
I think that's the character. Like, that's just how he was, but they did a really good job of portraying it. And it just, I don't know if it was intended that, like, this is going to connect with, you know, children who are on the autism spectrum, but worked out, didn't it? So.
It kind of did. I don't know if they, I don't think they went into filming with that in mind, or writing or anything like that.
Right.
I just, it's like, we're going to have an alien who doesn't understand metaphor. Maybe it's just a quirk of their species that, you know, intergalactic travel is kind of, alien to us. Well, metaphors are alien to them. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Makes
I mean,
a lot of sense.
It was cool. It was really, really cool. And, you know, every character had like a flaw, and that was his flaw. Well, Groot had no flaws because Groot's perfect in every way.
Groot
had plenty of flaws.
Can you say no to this face? You can't.
I can.
Well, now I'm sad.
Groot had plenty of flaws. He couldn't talk, first and foremost. That's his big flaw. Like, that's the obvious flaw.
Yeah, and very flammable. So there's that.
Yeah. Self-sacrificing, is that a flaw? Not really.
No, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. But so real quick, because we've already touched on Groot a bit. What did you think of Vin Diesel's vocal acting range on Groot?
Mwah.
I am Groot. It was perfect. Yeah, there was really nothing.
Every delivery of it was different. It was great.
Yeah. Now, how much do you think they had to modify his voice digitally to like get it to sound like that? Or do you think it was just all like guttural Vin Diesel? Oh, you're Groot, you know?
I think a lot of it was probably just guttural Vin Diesel.
Because I'm thinking back to the Iron Giant, and that, you know, that not too far off from that.
Yeah, you know, Superman.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Pretty close.
So
Stopped. The cricket stopped. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. I'm really quietly knocking on wood.
I knocked on fake wood.
Yeah. Then Gamora was Zoe Saldana.
How do you get
Really
Salanda
good.
out of Saldana?
Saldana. I'm terrible at names. How many times have I told you this?
Many times. You'll have to tell me at least one more time.
I'm terrible at names. She was in what? Star Trek. She was in
yes,
what else? She was in something else fairly recently too.
I think she was in like Avatar, if I remember
Mm,
correctly.
I don't think she was in Avatar.
Don't
I feel like
know.
she was.
She was in Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black
Oh.
Pearl.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in Avatar. You're right.
Oh, see?
She was Natari.
Yeah,
Oh.
there you go.
So.
I was gonna say she's not too she's not
She's not too
strange
unknown.
with
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Yeah, she held herself well as a female lead. I was
No, absolutely.
very pleased with that character. I didn't even realize that Bradley Cooper was the voice of Rocket. I had no
Yeah.
clue.
Did
That
not
was
sound like him.
Not at all. So,
You
That was
don't.
interesting.
It's sometimes it's hard to, unless it's like one of those iconic voices. It's hard to pick a voice out from an actor when you don't have the actor to look at.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, what is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 going to be? Are they going to start off and Rocket's like drunk somewhere and forgot about what happened the night before? That
Sure.
would be great if that was just like a tiny little segment, just like a little nod to Bradley Cooper.
Oh my god.
Like he just wakes up hangover and he's just like, I don't even remember last night, and they just leave it at that. Like they never explore. It would be amazing.
That would be great.
I would love little things like that.
And did I get a tattoo?
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Rooker as Yondu was amazing. I don't know, the entire cast was awesome.
Great. Glenn Close
It's
is just
yeah.
like shocked. Like, whoa, Glenn Close is in this movie.
Like wow. Okay. Like you know, great actress. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
What about the Collector? John, we were just talking pre-show. John didn't even realize who the
Benicio
Collector.
del Toro.
Yeah, had no clue.
I didn't know it was him.
I didn't even either. I was just like, I looked at it afterwards. I'm like, oh yeah, but they did a really good job in his makeup.
Yeah.
I like the
And,
description reading here that what James Gunn said about him. He's like outer space Liberace.
having
He really
flashbacks
is.
of the movie.
Yeah,
Man,
Hell, even they got Lee Pace for Ronan. That was pretty fucking good.
yeah.
it was.
I mean, he's already good at playing odd personality types. Just look at Thranduil. He's the I'm gonna get really close and talk to you guy.
Gonna have to ask you to never do that again.
I'm gonna stay back here.
Why it was fun. The whole time I was doing it, my chair was like rolling further and further away from me.
So this is really the first franchise that Marvel's had that we've had no tie-ins whatsoever. So people that were skeptical about things like Ant-Man and stuff that are kind of the lesser-known franchises, this movie is kind of the FU. We're doing what we want, and you're gonna like it.
We're
And
gonna
it's not that we're forcing you to like it. You are going to like it.
Yeah, because it's amazing.
We are going to do Marvel Comics justice. We don't care, and we are going to use everything ridiculous that is in Marvel because there's a lot of ridiculous shit.
Like Cosmo the Russian space dog.
That was, oh my god, that was amazing. If you don't know who Cosmo is at one point in the comics a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he is security chief of Space Station Nowhere, which is,
And
you know, the giant
We
floating
did see
head.
him briefly in this movie.
We did, and that was an awesome nod. It's like, okay, there's a dog in a Russian spacesuit. What the fuck? That dog is psychic.
Yep. So I'm sure we'll be seeing him again.
We better.
Who is he voiced by?
Nobody.
The dog didn't talk?
The dog didn't talk. That was Howard the Duck.
Yeah. Yeah, the dog didn't talk. He was just a dog. It wasn't like he didn't look different. He was just a dog in a spacesuit. I think it was he a retriever? I don't remember
I
correctly.
could have sworn the thing like glowed or something and he said something. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I think he might have been the cocaine talking.
Could have been. Not that
Yeah.
I've ever... Yeah, I don't... What? You mean the pixie snicks I was snorting?
The Pixie
Yeah. very close to the
Is
50s.
it bad
never
that
mind.
is it bad that the theater we went to, when I went up to get soda, the girl had like pink hair, and I was like, "Your hair is the same color as my lungs."
You really know how to talk to the ladies. Did I ever tell you
I
that?
do.
He
I do.
does.
I mean,
That was
the panties just fall off.
that was more of an inside joke with Mike's wife Nikki, who was not even there for the joke, which made it that much more awkward. She was already going to get her seat, and I was just like, I have to use this anyway, and I told her about it afterwards, and she was laughing, and it was great. It was great. But yeah.
Bravo, Sal.
Indeed it was, indeed. So I guess the last question here is, are you guys looking forward to Ant-Man?
I'm more
Now I
looking.
am.
I am now. It's seeing how the treatment they gave Guardians, and that could have just been the cast and the writing and the director, because that's all going to be different for Ant-Man. For all we know, it could suck, but I doubt it will, because this is Marvel and they kind of have final say in everything. After seeing the treatment they gave Guardians of the Galaxy, I am not worried for everything coming in the future. I doubt they will screw up anything, because this was basically we're going to try some ridiculous concepts. I mean, you have to keep going back to the example of the talking raccoon that walked on two legs and used a machine gun.
Will this sell tickets?
And
Right.
also got upset when you called him a raccoon.
Right. He doesn't even know what a raccoon
I don't know
is.
what that is.
So they kind of experimented with that. So I have no doubts that Ant-Man and Doctor Strange and everything going forward is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm curious what they're going to do with him, because he's a pretty dark character in the comics. The domestic violence kind of
Yeah.
guy. So I don't know if they're going to go dark with him. I wouldn't. I don't want to say I would be interested in seeing that, because it's terrible, but it would be a very interesting part of his character, to say the least, if they went that route. So
See-
I'm interested in this movie.
I think they're
I
getting
am-
their foot. Sorry to cut you off, Mike, but I think they're gonna dip their toes in this, because from what I hear is the Netflix series that's coming out, which is gonna start with Daredevil.
Right,
It's supposed
yeah.
to be really dark.
Right.
So
And
if
that's
that's
something
any
I-
indication, that might be like a prelude of here's where we're kind of heading in the future. We're not scared. Like I said, Star-Lord flipping people off, that's very uncharacteristic of Disney. And the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie especially was pretty dark. It had some really dark stuff to it. So
Yeah.
I don't think Marvel at this point is afraid to get their hands dirty if they need to.
No, and the theory is that the third Thor movie is going to be the Ragnarok storyline, which is a really dark storyline.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's the end time. Okay, here's a little snippet. Loki allies with the fire god Surtur to basically take over the universe, pretty much. During this battle, Thor loses Mjolnir because it gets shattered in a fight with Surtur, and in order to deal with Loki, he basically deals with Loki by ripping his fucking head off with his bare hands. Like, twist! Your head is mine.
You can't
So-
kill Loki.
No,
He's the reason those movies are good.
No, the head stays alive. Thor wears it on his belt, and it talks to him for the rest of the storyline. I'm dead serious.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes,
So amazing.
Tom Hiddleston is now a disembodied head.
Hey, I was a disembodied voice. It's not the worst thing in the world.
That really needs to happen. But that's more dark. And Ant-Man is kind of a dark, if they stick
Yeah.
with the whole origin story and everything, it's dark.
The only thing
And-
is that the rating for that movie is not going to be PG-13 if he's, beating up his girlfriend. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
They're getting away with more and more as the years go by.
I don't know if we're going to
That's
see
just
that
too
particular. Yeah, but
That's just too dark for a PG-13. And
They
Yeah.
might allude to it, but I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll show it.
Yeah, or maybe they'll just amalgamate into more.
is this going to be like a sex scene where they cut to the window and a breeze blowing through it?
Sure. Yeah, we're going to go with that.
Barry White shows up at the bottom of the window. Ain't good enough for your look. Never mind.
Yeah. See, that's another thing Marvel realized and touched on is or Disney, I should say, is a really in-your-face sex scene.
I doubt
Yeah.
they'll ever go that far.
No, there's no need for that, especially in a Marvel movie. I don't see why they would bother.
Yeah. I don't see room for it right now, but that's not to say that it won't ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go with that.
It seemed almost like they could have gone that route with Star-Lord. If Star-Lord was going... If they were going to have somebody do it, Star-Lord is the perfect character.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Or
I
Tony
think-
Stark at his heyday.
Yes, Tony Stark there. I think they wanted to, like they said, go more Han Solo versus Captain Kirk with
Yeah.
Star-Lord.
Yeah,
That's true.
less of a lady slayer. Well, I mean, not that... Anyway.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, guys. Any final thoughts here?
It's going to be too long to wait for... I mean, it's creeping up quick, but Avengers 2 is too far away. I'm really excited for that. You have
Super
no
creepy.
idea.
Super creepy. Really quick, final thoughts. I'm going to actually see if I can call Groot. I don't know.
Oh, great, yeah.
I don't know if that's possible. Can I?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can I call?
Well,
Hi.
I think
We're going to do the rest of the podcast like this.
that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, call him up. See what he knows,
It's
because he might be
ringing.
able to tell us about the next movie.
It's ringing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, I got his answering machine. He just said, "I am Groot."
he never picks up.
No, he's a busy stick.
Yeah, he has tiny arms. Maybe he can't get the phone.
This
because
is
his
true.
arms-
This
He is
true.
growing.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Hmm.
we tried.
So-
We'll call him back next podcast.
What, have you texted him recently, John?
I did.
What did he say?
I asked him what a good cough remedy is because, Chrissy's throat's been bothering her, and he actually gave some great advice. He said, I am Groot, which I interpreted as take Robitussin. I'm just taking a guess. I don't know.
Indeed. Yeah.
Not Rocket. I don't understand him. So,
I know this is kind of like blowing his spot a little bit, but
Yeah.
do you want to share Groot's phone number with everyone?
you know what? I do. I actually do, because I think everybody should give him a buzz. And Internet, you're welcome for this. His number is 1-866-740-4531. Give him a call. Give him a text. He always answers at least,
Yeah.
except his phone calls.
You get
But
his voice.
he'll text you back.
Yeah, he'll text you back every time. He's really
Yeah.
good about that.
He's really great. He's not like that bum friend who's like 20 minutes later. Oh, you wanted to get Applebee's? Sorry.
It's like he knows he waits just long enough for you to go to Applebee's and then says, "Oh, sorry, I just ate."
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
He's not a tool like that. So
No.
give him a buzz.
Yeah. Yes. Any final thoughts? Was that it?
No, I love
I'm
this
good.
movie, and I want more of it already.
I do. I can't wait for the Blu-ray for deleted scenes and whatnot.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Yes. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
John, where can the people find you?
Behind this camera, occasionally, and
Oh,
at that little thing number there, it says that no more. It's on
Ooh.
Twitter.
Excellent.
Follow me there if you
excellent.
want. I don't use it too much. I mostly post shit from Instagram, and if my random musings about whatever's going on today. Whatever.
Nice. Mike, where can people find you?
Also on a little Twitter thing that's about to pop up. Wow, how fancy.
It's the same color.
Let's sink down. I know, right? You can follow me on Twitter at there.
Right over his eyes.
Dilladrin on Twitter. I hate you.
Me? Why do you hate me?
Because you're in control of this lower third.
Oh, am I?
The best thing ever. This is fun.
Fine,
Ooh,
wait,
it's tiny
fine.
now. Whoop, that was big. All right, you almost got it.
You can find me down below. Nope, that's it. That's not it. At Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can find all of us and others on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on the YouTubes /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until
You did it.
Aha!
until next movie. If you guys only watch us for the movies, stop that.
Yeah.
Start watching us for the TV show. We're doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. We got Gotham coming up. We got some good stuff coming. So
excited.
stay tuned. Yes, indeed.
And maybe it will be a sausage fest next time. Hey.
Ooh.
Hey!
I mean,
Blame your
maybe.
girlfriend. Blame my wife. Blame this D20.
Roll it.
Maybe we get Groot on here next time.
Yeah.
I'll give him a call later. All right.
Okay.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
I am Groot.
No, you're not.